Alright, just got me a GoPro, so I figured I might do an overview of my Jeep Cherokee here. I've been building up for, I guess, about the last 8 months. When I got it, it was completely bone stock, nothing done to it at all. I've actually had a couple different setups on it as far as suspension goes. I tried to go with the junkyard lift, and that actually did great for a while. Actually, it going through just general trail riding and mud and stuff like that, the junkyard lift works just fine. Now, I did retain the bastard pack in the rear. I used Dodge Dakota springs, and I have a 1-inch lift shackle, and I also have shackle relocation boxes in there. You can see that. That gives me a total of 5 inches lift in the rear. And on the front, I have Rubicon Express 4.5-inch coil springs with a 1-inch urethane spacer there for a total of 5.25 inches of lift up front. It has a little bit of sag because I have a front bumper and a winch on. That is no longer the setup anymore as far as the junkyard lift as the control arms go. I have this Rough Country. I think it's rated for 4.5 to 6.5 inches long arm. Flexes considerably better than the short arms that I had on it, and that's mainly due to the fact that I got these shocks here, which I measured and got the correct length. They're Skyjacker N95 series. They are 16.7 inches compressed and 28.5 inches extended, which flexes considerably better than the Pro Comp ES 1000s I had on there. For as far as the axles go, I have the Dana 30 up front still, and the Crossrail 8.25 in the rear. 48 gears front and rear from Revolution Gear. I have Aussie lockers front and rear. They are noisy, but they lock up. They work like they're supposed to. As far as suspension goes on the front, I have a Rubicon Express, the HD track bar, and relocation bracket to drop it down. I'm going to do a heavy-duty steering upgrade soon, but it's not in the budget quite yet. Wheels, tires, they're just Pro Comp 15x8s, 3 3/4 inch back spacing, and they have 35, 12, 50, 15 Goodyear Kevlar Wranglers on it, which hook up really good on rocks. They do just fine in mud and slippery stuff as well. I built a roof rack for it. I built all the mounts for the jack, as you can see there. And on the other side, I have some brackets that I welded to the rack that I bought off eBay. I wish I could take credit for them. They're pretty nice, and it holds everything securely. If I wanted to put locks on it, I could. I haven't put locks on it. Fortunate enough for me, I live in a pretty honest neighborhood. Haven't had any issues, anyone messing with any of my things. Got a CB for trail riding. The rear bumper is a Smitty built rear bumper. It has an integrated hitch, so you can delete a hitch and it won't hang down as far, so when you're going over stuff, it doesn't get caught up quite as easily. I have the same shocks on the rear as I do on the front. The back doesn't flex as good as the front, but it doesn't it does everything I need, and I have plenty of shock travel before I max it out. I also spent a considerable amount of time figuring out what I needed to do as far as bump stops, and this here is my setup. As you can see, I welded brackets to the leaf spring perch, and then I have extended bump stops in the stock location. I've done an alternator upgrade. Went to the 136 amp ZG alternator. There's plenty of how-tos on how to do that. That's pretty much it. Got a Chinese snorkel, very easy to install, $75, pretty cost effective, and it works. Got a Chinese light bar. I pulled it apart and resealed it with clear silicone. Haven't had any issues with condensation or discoloration on the lens. Also have a Smitty built 9,500 pound winch. Works great. I mean, for the price, you can't beat it. $300. Actually gave less than that. I found it on sale for $275. Other things too, I have a transmission cooler. A lot of little things done to the Jeep that I would spend forever going over. But now you see it, that's it. It's a 98, 165,000 miles. Been getting it ready for a trip to Hard Rock here on June 18th, so that should be fun. Hard Rock's an off-road park that we have in Ocala. It's about an hour and a half from where I live now, so it makes a good little trip. I got the slip yoke illuminator on it, so I don't have very many vibrations. So yeah, it's pretty good all around rig. It doesn't do anything exceptionally well, but it does everything well. Doesn't shine anywhere, but it doesn't really have any fallbacks anywhere either. So there it is.